All right. Give you guys a second. So this is take 2. While I was starting take 1, the Jake's school called in, and so it was the nurse, and he got hit in the eye, but he's okay. But she just wanted to give me a little insider information that he was okay. That kid, man, he is intense, man. Oh, it's always something. All right, so he's my homie, though. Okay, so in 2001 or 2000, I decided I wanted to buy my first Les Paul. I'd never had one. I bought this. Took it home and sanded the back of the neck. Got up the next morning. I was like, oh, wait a second. What if I don't like it? What if I decide I don't want it? Now I can't sell it. It's been through a lot. This is not being used at all. And there's a couple of reasons. One, it's got 11s. It's an E flat. This was for my band. The band thing, I hate to say it, it's over. I give up. So, I'm going to start doing an acoustic thing. I'm in Nashville, might as well, right? I still want to play. I still want to sing. It's over. So, this thing is 11s. It's a dark guitar, and it's got kind of a darker pickup in it. And that was a part of the sound, that gung, 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 of that, like, my early Beautiful Distraction and for all those records, like, Around the World in 30 Days and, Cage and all that. But this thing is not having any use. I did a little rundown today of all my guitars through Axe Effects. I didn't even pick it up. Like, I don't even think about this guitar. This is a Gibson. I have a WCR and I have an Epiphone with Duncans, and that's what I use. I really use that WCR probably the most. But the Epi's nice too. This has been a problem. Keeping this thing in tune is not the easiest thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it back to life, and I'm gonna try keeping the pickup. I think that the pickup, we did that big pickup shoot out in Hollywood like 15 years ago. We used this guitar, and at the end of the pickup shootout, listening through them, I liked the WB Fire the best, and we popped it back in, and it's been in ever since. I bought it from the dude, Will Boggs. Very popular in the guitar community. Yes, it's dropped C sharp. I'm just not doing anything with this anymore. I mean, it's over, dude. I'm mostly doing pop stuff, rock stuff, funky country, indie pop. And the thing is, if I got to drop tune, I can just drop tune for the song and, whatever. So we're going to try it. So this is 11s in E flat. And one thing I've noticed in my life switching between 11s in E flat and 10s in standard, it's almost identical. Like, a lot of times you don't even barely have to do anything to set it up. You just string it up, stretch the strings, start playing. It's because the 10s have less tension, but the tuning is up a half step, and it feels like it's exactly the same to me. So we're going to put a set of Boomer 10s on here, and we're going to tune this thing up to standard, and we're going to do the nut sauce on the nut, and we're going to check this thing out. So bear with me. Bear with me. Get a little nut sauce. And there it is. You guys get to watch me string a guitar. Plug it in. Make it howl, my friend. Hey, what's up, Al? Yes, so that's what we do. This is really the only guitar left in the collection that's kind of in question. Like, what do I do with this thing? I can't, I'm not going to sell it because, I've had it forever and I would just never sell it. And it really is a great guitar. It makes me, I'm just doing something here for work real quick. It makes me, I love playing it. Dealing with it in the studio is not always the funnest thing in the world because it's, you know, it's a little bit of heavy lifting with keeping this thing in tune. Let's put it this way: when I have like new people coming in, um, like let's make sure. When I have new people coming in, especially young guys that come in, and they need some guitars to play. I never ever hand anybody this guitar because, like, in certain ways, I'm like the only person that can play this guitar and keep it in tune. So there we go. So now we're gonna see. So this is nut sauce because you got to keep these nuts really nice with these Les Pauls because the neck. I think the one thing with the tuning is not only is the bridge is technically, I think, not in the right position, but because of the heritage of the guitar, they don't switch it, but it's a little funky position. That's why sometimes you have to reverse the bridge pieces to get. Oh my God, somebody's blowing up with thumbs up. What's going on? Somebody go. Oh, it's Al. Hey, what's going on? I like that. I can see it all the way from here, and I'm blind as a bat. But also because the neck, like here's like the strings coming up, the nut, and then the headstock tilts down slightly. That I think has a component to playing into. Enough talk. These are 11s in E flat. We're about to go 10s in standard. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's up a half step. Standard is like A440, like your standard tuning. So now we're going to take it. So, whoa, craziness. Probably could use that light right here. I need another one of these nut sauce things. This is a pain in the butt. It like comes off the edge. Let's see what's going on here. All right, close enough for rock and roll. Yeah, so I only have like pretty much like a couple of like more, what you consider more, I don't know if I'd say even high-end guitars. It would be this. This is just a regular Gibson standard. And then I have that Strat Pro Professional 2. That's kind of more high-end guitar. This is a little bit more dough than the Strat, but there it is. That's enough rock and roll, mate. Okay. This would be nice. Have some fresh strings. Let's see if we can make this thing come back to life. You know what I mean? It's such a great. It has so much, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say meaning. I don't get really all wrapped up in guitars either way, but you know, like all the songs that people listen to of mine, all the rock stuff like Around the World in 30 Days and, you know, all those Spinning Out of Control and all the rhythms were tracked with this. Most of those songs, everything was tracked with this. 36. Let's see. See if we can figure out how to put the dang nut sauce in there. This just makes it glide a little bit. And it seems really important on Les Pauls because the headstock tilts down. You've really got to have good mobility through the nut there. I used to have like a fine tuner bridge on this thing, which really made it nice in the studio. You just keep it really in tune. I got a fine tuner on my black Strat, but it definitely ate tone big time. You know, the part of the thing that makes these Gibsons sound so great is the is the stability in the tailpiece. It's just solid, man. And usually you want to go for sinking the rear tail, like not the bridge, but the tail piece where it goes in. You can sink that down a little lower so that there's a little bit of a lift going up to the strings. It can make the strings break once in a while. You just got to be careful with make sure that the metal is not too sharp. You can file it a little bit, but that angle gives it a more articulate and point where it hits the thing and the angle. It does make a difference. It makes the guitar. Oi, oi. It's like a black car. You can see all the dust. This thing sucks. Come on, nut sauce. It comes out all over the sides. Maybe it was operator error. When I initially instantiated the nut sauce, I screwed it up. I wonder how many guitars I've strung in my life. Thousands. I used to work for a guy and we used to do guitar check. It was a one-day event at different music stores, and it was like $9.99, and it was a restring, action, set, neck adjustment, and intonation for $10. People would just pile in with their guitars, and then it was kind of like an introduction to what he did as a guitar repair guy, and then people were like, oh, hey, I want to switch out this pickup, and maybe, he'd find something wrong with the guitar, like maybe you should put new machine heads on it, or the wiring's weird, or it needs a fret dress. So it kind of landed him into other things. But I was I was the grunt. I was the stringer. And I think one of them was really big. We did this down at Fort Lauderdale. I think there was like 100 and, for some reason, like 109 guitars. And I think I strung about 80 of them in a day, 70 of them. I didn't make it through all of them. Some of them we brought back to the shop. We had the drill with the bit was the peg winder. As I look like an idiot trying to get this. There we go. So it's like, just clip, 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 so fast. I think I used to do we were doing tongue oil too. So we oil the fretboard. I hit it with a little bit of the quadruple zero sandpaper, always with the guitar upside down, because you never want the metal filaments to get into the pickup. So you can either take the pickup off, or you can just kind of hold the guitar upside down. I used to just hold it upside down. The other thing too, and this is so huge to me anyway, is always, unless you're really doing like a fresh anything or you're having an issue with it, always string it one string at a time and tune it up. Keep that tension on the neck. You can have a guitar playing great, you pull all the strings off and it's over. Because what happens is the neck is pulling in because of the tension of the strings, right? You're tightening the strings, it's bringing the neck in like this. Then you've got a truss rod that's pushing the neck out. And when you get it adjusted where it's nice, this pushing back is based on the pulling in. When you take that tension off and that neck reliefs in and relaxes, that truss rod can then like kind of lock into another place. And then all of a sudden you put the strings on and the action is like flat. It's like on the fretboard. Everything's buzzing. No bueno. I honestly, I mean, I have a little bit of feelings about this guitar. If I hadn't shaved the neck, I still wouldn't sell it. It's still a cool guitar. I mean, it's a black Les Paul. Also, one of my clients broke the headstock, never came clean, and left a tab. Man, that hurt. It's all good though. I think about him all the time. I hope he's doing good. He's kind of got some, a little troubled dude. All right, now, almost forgot to put the nut sauce. Gotta put the nut sauce. There you go. And then as soon as this thing is, and the only reason I'm not really totally tuning it up is I'm just getting tension, is because I'm going from E flat, so there's nothing to tune to at this point really. I mean, unless you put like on the 6th fret or the 4th, I don't, you know what I mean? Like you could alter it, but there's good tension on this thing. Man, I hope this is good. I hope this is good. This would be fun. And this guitar has a totally different soul than the WCR. The WCR Les Paul is like, to me, is the quintessential Les Paul. It's like the most beautiful sounding, slightly overwound PAF. The original PAFs that they used in like the 60s and 70s are low output. And they're cool, but here's just my opinion. They're sometimes really bright, and they just don't grind the amp the way I like it. And the thing is, a lot of things back then were like plexis, were real bright. That was because people were recording into tape and then making vinyl records, so they were losing all that top end. Well, that's not the case anymore. You know, Pro Tools and all this Logic and all this stuff, this stuff's bright. So sometimes having some darker sounds is not the worst thing in the world. All right, let's check it out. Oh, did I not do the nut sauce? I didn't. Come on. Yeah, looks like it's on there. Wiggle it from both sides, pick some up. All right. Now, we'll reverse this. And you can, let me see if I can get this happening. Let me do something with this guitar. I'll have to put the, stay there. A couple of my main guitar thing here is a hanging guitar stand. But after the dude fixed my guitar and fixed this, after the headstock was broken, kind of hit me, and I called him. I'm like, hey, should I not put this guitar on hanging stands? And he's like, you know what? I wouldn't do it. Hey, what's up, Caleb? All right, let's see. We're putting 10s on the old black Les Paul. Let's see if this is good. Yeah, it's close enough for rock and roll. We're just going to use the, I think the Axe effects should be set up. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. This. And let's go here. We got no views. Just uploaded a video. We'll get it up in a minute. All right, here we go. So let's go here. Okay. Sometimes with these type of guitars too, I'll just like kind of get the strings moving into tune. I don't go straight into E. You see them, these are all just a little under. I'm just kind of moving them up. While I'm moving them up, I'm also, let me move this here. So I gotta let go of the guitar, but my hand is right here. Kind of like tune it up a little slow. You just start bearing on this thing and this thing already feels great. I'm telling you, man, 11s in E flat and 10s in standard is just about the same deal. Let's give the neck a little kind of let that truss rod settle back in. Turn it up. All right, let's see what we got here. So let's go to the Axe Effects editor. And let's go to, let's find a preset. Here is basic. Oh yeah, that sounds great. This feels nice. It's really nice in that tuning. The other thing too, I think these guitars, especially Les Pauls, are just beautifully, it's like they're built for 10s in standard, you know? All right, so let's record this. So this is Gibson. that's really sounds great. Here's the WCR. One down. And then again, that's no setup, that's no intonation, that's just put 10s on it, tune it up, stretch them for about a minute. Oh! And then here is WCR. Okay. That's a well, so I already warmed up a little bit into that song from playing, that Cat Scratch Fever and playing it the first time with the Black Les Paul. But like that kind of stuff is easier for me to play on the WCR because the neck is a little thinner. It's more like a, I don't know what it is. It's a thinner neck, like a 60s style. Even though the 60s, I think that's a 60s style. I don't know. That's a bigger neck though. The Gibson is bigger. All right. All right, close enough for rock and roll. And just bridge position, And here's the epi. About all the same output. They definitely feel different sound wise. So here's the Gibson. WCR. See, that's actually more. It's funny, man. Like the Gibson's more. WCR. And then the epi. Yeah, the epi's more like the WCR. A little less low end Gibson. The Gibson's actually the most pure sounding. Those pickups are great in that thing though, man. The WB Fire. Oh, there it is. So now I've got 3 Les Pauls, kind of crazy. This one's very different though because this one taps. This is like, if I had one guitar to record with, this is it. Because it's like, right now, it's like a Les Paul. You tap this, go in the middle. It's like a Telecaster with a single coil in the bridge, humbucker in the neck. This is a great sound. And then this is both in more like a hollow, more like a Strat Tele. Now they're both single coil. But I like this, and I like the neck in double. And then that bridge would go there, and it just sounds great. Or you can just go bridge and just go down and have like more of a kind of a Stratty sound. It's not perfect. It's not like having a Strat, but there you go. So Gibson, and I know you guys can't hear it on the phone, but what am I doing? Hold on. do? How did I lose? There it is. WCR. Darker. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. The Gibson is actually the brightest. But the strings are pretty new on the Epiphone. The strings are definitely old on the WCR. So it's not an exact science, but it is interesting. Very interesting. Oh my God, let's grab it again. Let's do it, man. 11s are dark too. You know, Mark Cameron was hanging around the studio a lot back in the day, the amp designer. And, you know, he's very kind of indoctrinated into that 80s thing too. And he made two comments. One, when he played this with 11s, he played it and you know what he said? He said, this would sound better with thinner strings. You know, because there used to be that, always go for like, you know, Steve Ray Vaughan used 13s and like put his calluses back together with, you know, with crazy glue. Like, oh yeah, that's always better. Me, there was something about that thought process didn't really jive with me. But Mark said, no, man. He says, really, to get the right sound with the like modern Marshall is to use 9s. He says most of those guys were using 9s, and the 9s are going to be brighter. And then he said the other thing is using cables with more resistance. Like he said, at his shop back in the day, he used to test them with a curly cable, like an old school, like Jimi Hendrix kind of curly cable. And he said because the resistance like does a little thing and it shaves a little of that top off, and then you use the 9. He says that's like to him was the sound. Yeah, this is incredible. The tracking on that Boss Octaver is absolutely insane, as is the synth. Yeah, there's some voodoo in those Boss. This is OCD. And this is the light speed. OCD. Light speed. That's a nice pedal. Whoa, I'm gonna switch keys on you. That's how bad my vision is. I looked down and couldn't even see anything. Like Jeff Soto's, it's like 38 years to the day when he joined Yngwie. And I wore that second record out. The first one was cool, but man, Marching Out. And Trilogy with Mark Bowles, like, what was it? Fire, was that something like that? Oh no, yeah. I still love that song. Queen is in Love. Man. Funny, all the talk of Yngwie shredding, his rhythm playing was ridiculous. Ridiculous rhythm playing. That pocket, man. Holy smokes. All right, so there it is. My Gibson is back in action. 10s, standard tuning. Very, very, very exciting. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. Surprising, it's actually brighter than the other ones. And again, it could be it's brand new strings, but it sounds great. So we're gonna start using this, man. We are gonna start using this. How's it going, Armando? Armando Avila. What amp, speaker, mic are we listening to? Sorry. This is just that's Axe Effects. That's the Atomica with a little cab combination that my friend Mark Day turned me on to, I think. Yeah, it's 2 cabs, slightly panned, and it's just the Atomica high with a little, just straight. Armando. I showed somebody a picture of your rack the other day, man. I was like, "Oh, you think I'm crazy? You think I'm wild and crazy with this? You don't even know wild and crazy." And they asked the question that everyone asks, and you've probably heard it a million times. "Hey, what's up, Bob?" He said, "How does he know what to pick? Like, how does he know what to do with all that?" He's probably like all the rest of us that have all that ridiculous gear. You use the same few things every day. You know, once in a while you'll, you know. Yeah. So Les Paul is back. What's up, Bob Bloom? That was a fun show, man. Ah. Little Joe Pass riff for you. All right. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of that. That's just amazing. Another one back from the brink. So now I got a couple sets of 11s that I'm probably not going to use. But here, I'll take you guys a little walk around of the rig. Okay, I think we're back. Are we back? Okay. It was signed Lillian. Oh, nice. All right, so yeah, so this is the this is the jam I've been using a lot. I wonder if I can flip the microphone. Let me see. The head. I don't know if you can flip it while you're recording. Probably not. Okay, well, we'll just stay here. But XFX3, Kemper, you know, I've been running through the distressors on guitar. I've been enjoying that. Pedals, a couple Marshalls, AC30, and the guitars, and they're all tricked out and cleaned up and strong. And I got rid of a bunch of guitars. I had so many guitars. I just was like needed to keep it more streamlined because it's small in here. But there it is. So I guess what's that? There's 14 on there because we're missing one. 15, 16. Yeah, I've got 17. I had 20 like 2 weeks ago. So we got rid of 4 of them and gained 1. But there it is. Yeah. Well. All right, Bob, man. Peace out, everyone.